Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Verilux Lenses. It is a perfect night by the Allegheny River. Tonight in Pittsburgh, it's a collision of two first-place teams as the Tampa Bay Rays visit the Pittsburgh Pirates. Junior Caminero and the Rays are the hottest team in the American League, winners of 6 in a row and atop the AL East entering today. While here in Pittsburgh, 19-year-old Connor Griffin continues to be center stage for a Pirates team that firmly believes it can end a decade-long playoff drought this season. As we welcome you to the ballpark. Hi again, everybody. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielborg's here with you. These two teams, Spilly, might be the best stories to begin the baseball season.
They've been so much fun. I mean, think about the Tampa Bay Rays. They missed the postseason last 2 years. They're back in the trop. They're playing this brand of baseball. It's super fun. And the Pirates, they had a great offseason, some free agents. They have the reigning Cy Young Award winner, Paul Skeens. Oh, and by the way, they have one of the best young players in the entire sport in Connor Griffin.
Yeah, this Pirates team started spring training with a confidence, a swagger, a belief in this season, and that was before the 19-year-old kid made his big league debut.
It's been so much fun here, and we're going to see it tonight, especially when you think about a Friday night baseball game, and we get to highlight what this kid is. Connor Griffin, 2024 Gatorade National High School Player of the Year. He's only 2 years removed from high school. This is crazy. He was the hitting prospect of the year for the minor leagues. He was a Gold Glove Award winner. And for somebody that's only spent 1 year, you might think to yourself, hey, maybe the Pirates pushed him a little bit too hard. The answer to that is no. .336 batting average, 21 home runs, 68 stolen bases. He played a handful of games in AAA, but he measures off the charts when it comes to the scouting numbers. 50 is average, so he's above average hitting, above average power, above average running, arm, fielding. He's got the whole package, and it's not just that, it's where he ranks now with other kids.
Yeah, one of only 8 players in the last quarter century to make a major league debut while still a teenager, and arguably the first teenage face of a franchise since Bryce Harper when he debuted with the Nationals. By comparison, 22-year-old Junior Caminero is an old man, all things considered. 45 home runs a year ago, and even after that, Spilly, the Rays believe he's got more in him.
Oh, he does. He also has an ARP card because he's 22. But when you think about Junior Caminero, this guy loves to play baseball. He also does some things that very few players have ever done. Since 1920, he's one of 4 to lead a team in games, home runs, RBIs, runs as the youngest player on the roster. Others to do that is Bobby Witt, Albert Pujols, and Scott Rowland. Incredible, but the talent is off the charts. And for me, when I'm watching Junior Caminero, most home runs before age 21 or younger, it's only Eddie Matthews, Hall of Famer from Santa Barbara, and then you got Junior and Milwaukee. Pretty crazy to think about it. So what makes him so good? It's the bat speed. This is real speed. You can hear how loud the ball jumps off of this bat. It's not just in BP, it's in the game. It translates. So when you're trying to get this all put together, one of the most important stats that we look like is barrel percentage. 68 barrels last year, which was a franchise record. That's anything over 95 miles an hour. That means he is doing damage, he's hitting it to all fields, and there's a reason why the Rays believe he can be even better.
There is a youth movement across baseball this season. Those are just 2 examples of it, and we'll get back to Griffin in just a moment because there are some eerie similarities with a Pirates legend. When we come back, Trisha Whitaker with more on the teenage phenom for the Pirates. Friday Night Baseball, back right after this.
It's another cruise missile. Anchor down, Ryan Reynolds. An exclamation point. In the gap, Connor Griffin into second. Do you believe it? Walk it off. Raise the Jolly Roger. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Skeens' 6th strikeout victim.
Ryan O'Hearn, the new Pirate, a 3-run shot.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV. Some beautiful drone coverage on a beautiful day in Pittsburgh for some baseball between the Pirates and the Rays. Well, sometimes baseball writes up stories that you just can't script. Connor Griffin, as you know, has quite the connection to this man behind me, Pirates legend Bill Mazeroski. Bill Mazeroski's son, Darren, was the first one to sign Connor Griffin. And as if that isn't good enough, Darren just so happened to be at the ballpark the day that Connor Griffin made his Major League debut. He was here honoring his late father. And it gets even better. Connor Griffin stepped up to the plate for his first big league at-bat, and he laced an RBI double to the left center gap, becoming the youngest Pirates player with a Major League hit in his Major League debut since, you guessed it, Bill Mazeroski. Darren spoke with the media after the game, and he said it was incredibly emotional and unbelievable that that happened while I happened to be at the park. I spoke with Connor Griffin before the game today, and he said the Mazeroski family is so special to my family. He said the baseball gods must have been on our side that day for everything to come together like it did. Around the corner, we'll be right back with your first look at lineups and first pitch from Pittsburgh on Apple TV Friday Night Baseball.
Tonight's aerial coverage in Pittsburgh is brought to you by Goodyear. What a beautiful night. Absolute perfection on a Friday night. Let's go down to the field. Here's Trisha Whitaker.
All right, Brandon Loud, tell me about this team right now. You've won 10 of the last 15 games. What makes this clubhouse special?
Honestly, the guys in here, the talent level is extremely high, but you know, it's not a me type of clubhouse. It's an us, and you know, we all have the same goals, which leads to a good team on the mound.
Brandon, we can't ignore the fact you're going up against your former team. You were just making faces at Shane McClanahan across the way. How much are you enjoying seeing them, but how much are you going to enjoy playing against Kevin Cash?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I spent 10 years with these guys, with most of them, and you know, I've loved every minute of it over there. Seeing them's always great, but you know, everybody's professionals here in this game. So right now, it's once they say play ball, you step in between the lines, it's business, and I'll enjoy playing against Cashy a lot more when we walk away with some wins.
Brandon, I appreciate the time. Good luck.
Absolutely, thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Brandon Lau, who is still third on the Tampa Bay Rays franchise home run list. We take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by BetMGM. The Rays featuring Chandler Simpson at the top, hitting .348 this season. That is the second highest mark in the AL. And in fact, the Rays have 1 and 2 in the American League this year. Yandy Diaz is first. Chandler Simpson is second. Kevin Cash and the Rays going for a 7th straight win. You know, Spilly, both these teams, you know, after a little bit of bobbles to begin the year, have been playing really well of late. The Rays have won 6 out of 9, and 6 in a row, I should say, and 9 of their last 11, and the Pirates have won 10 of 15 coming into the game.
Yeah, both teams are playing really well, and it's been also really fun watching the brand of baseball. And with Pittsburgh, when you come to Pittsburgh with this pitching staff, your offense is going to go into a slump. I mean, you're going to see Bubba Chandler tonight, big 6'3" righty from Georgia. Tomorrow they get Paul Skeens. I mean, it's just, you come to play this brand of baseball that the Rays are really fun to watch because they're going to put the ball in play. But this Pirates pitching staff is something else. Hubba Bubba. This guy's fastball is elite, throws 100 miles an hour, has great carry through the strike zone. But we want to see a little bit more of a pitch mix. We're starting to see him shape his changeup and get into a sweeper and then hoist the cone. Get that thing up and then just try to eliminate some of the traffic that the Tampa Bay Rays are going to provide. So that is limiting your walks. If Bubba limits his walks, he should do just fine tonight. Well, StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. To give you an idea of Bubba Chandler's stuff, check out the fastball. It sits right around 99 miles an hour, uses it 60% of the time. Changeup is his best secondary weapon. He's still a work in progress, of course. Slider, sweeper, curveball. He will use the fastball and changeup more to lefties. So we'll see how he does with some of the lefties in the Rays lineup.
Chandler making his 4th start, looking for his first win of the season. Tampa Bay, their offense has been clicking. A lot of small ball to start. We'll dive into that as we go along. Chaos on the base paths, putting the ball in play, but a little bit top heavy. That's the concern for this team and whether they can get the bottom of their order going as they start this 3-game interleague series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Warm-ups complete for Bubba Chandler. And Chandler Simpson to the plate. Tampa Bay at 11-7, first place in the AL East. Pittsburgh at 11-8, tied for first in the NL Central. On an absolutely perfect night for baseball on a Friday night.
All right, here we go. 1.
Ready to go in the Steel City. And Chandler's first pitch swung on and flied to center. Simpson is retired on 1 pitch. Let's take a look at tonight's weather report presented by Ricola. 76 degrees, perfect at first pitch.
I don't think you can read that without singing.
Impossible. That's why they pay you the big bucks, Bill. You knew exactly where I was going. Here's Junior Caminero. 4th homer of the year yesterday. Solo shot to tie the game in the 9th for the White Sox. Bullpen proceeded to give the game away, walking in a couple runs.
How about a birthday present for Mama? You call her, you tell her you're going to hit her a homer, you hit a homer, and then post-game, you even give a shout-out. You tell her how much you love her. I don't think you can beat that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Chandler fans Caminero.
That's exactly right. I mean, first pitch slider, then he goes to the 4-seam fastball, top of the zone, and then he finishes him off with another sweeper.
Oh, but Chandler is rolling to begin the night. Jonathan Aranda here. That fastball is elite.
Well, he's pumping strikes. That's the thing. He came into tonight's game with 12 walks. And, you know, you get a first pitch out from Chandler Simpson, 3-pitch punch out of Junior, and now you have 2 strikes quickly on Jonathan Aranda. That's a lot of strikes.
First one out of the zone. And you mentioned the walks. 12 of them coming into the day, tied for the most in the National League for Chandler. He was really animated in his post-game remarks after the start last week, saying he's setting up the team for failure right now. He put the bullpen in a tough spot. Dan Kelly was just telling us, like, it's okay to relax a bit. What a start to this game. 3 up, 3 down for Bubba Chandler. Starting lineups presented by BetMGM. For Don Kelly's Buccos, Pirates lineup featuring Brandon Lau. 7 homers this season. That's tied for the most in the National League. He'll hit second behind O'Neal Cruz, who has 5 homers of his own and leads the Pirates in runs batted in this season. First pitch swung on and missed from Nick Martinez, making his 4th start.
This is one of my favorite, almost like a Swiss Army knife pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays now. I mean, he's been one of the best since coming back from Japan as far as being able to be a reliever and a starter. And he has an unbelievable changeup. It was something that he worked on when he was overseas. He brought it back. And of course, he just reinvented himself and has had an amazing major league career now.
Cruz down on 3 pitches. Nick Martinez with a strikeout to begin the night as we spilled the beans.
Well, you just got to see how good that changeup was. Tricky Nicky throws a lot of different pitches, and for Nick, it's all about establishing the changeup early, which he already has, and then sink their ship. This Pirates team is a much better offensive unit than it was in the last couple years. They're a top 10 offensive unit right now in baseball. Limit your walks, limit the big innings.
There's a hard hit ball into the gap, left center and off the wall, into the seats. Brandon Lau, a scorching ground rule double for the former Ray.
Don't want to call it a revenge AB, but it always is going to feel like that for Brandon now. A little hanging curveball. It just gives you an idea how much power he has. And for Lau, I mean, his power is really on the pull side, so you don't see a lot of doubles hit from a lefty into that left center corner here in Pittsburgh.
What a wonderful start to his tenure as a Pirate. And now Brian Reynolds had a great series against the Nationals this week. Pirates, who lost 8, 7, and 10 innings yesterday against Washington, splitting a 4-game series. And on the first pitch, grounds 1 to third. Junior Caminero is there, high throw, but Aranda keeps his foot on the bag. And Brandon Lau has to stay put at second. Let's get to the defense here for Tampa Bay. A couple of all-stars on the corners with Caminero and Aranda. And a retooled outfield with Chandler Simpson in left, Cedric Mullins signing as a free agent coming over and playing center, and Jake Fraley in right. Ryan O'Hearn now, another offseason acquisition by the Pirates. Had a conversation with O'Hearn this morning about why he came here. He said, first of all, he loves playing in his ballpark. But then he said he had a 45-minute conversation with Don Kelly that just sold him on the vision for what this team, this organization was trying to do.
It's so important to start seeing some free agents signing in Pittsburgh, and we saw with Marcel's 1-year contract, the also starting to hit. But to get a guy like Ryan O'Hearn, Brohearn, and then you make a trade for Brandon Lau, you start getting some veteran hitters in a lineup that's been desperate for it.
I think there's been such frustration among the fans here in Pittsburgh because for years they tended not to go in that direction of signing free agents. Get some bats into the lineup. They have been in desperate need of that.
Well, what you're looking for in Pittsburgh, the guys that have been the most successful hitting-wise are left-handed pull hitters or right-handed hitters that use the off-field gap, so right center gap.
Against the righty Nick Martinez, they got 4 straight lefty hitters at the top with the switch hitting Reynolds among them. That's strike 3 on the inner half. Nick Martinez with a couple of Ks in the first inning. Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Essilor. Learn more about Verilux XR series and find your local Essilor expert at Essilor.com. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg's here with you. Long conversation at the end of that at bat with Ryan O'Hearn and the home plate umpire Brock Ballou. Looked like he may have wanted to challenge the pitch that he was rung up on.
Well, here's the problem is for Ryan O'Hearn, the second you look into the dugout and then tap the helmet, you're never going to get the opportunity to challenge. You cannot look in the dugout.
On the ground from Yandy Diaz. 1 gone.
So you see O'Hearn doesn't like the strike call. And even though he's casually looking into the dugout, he wasn't looking into the dugout for
Jake Fraley now fouls the first pitch off. This Tampa Bay team that has the second longest active winning streak in baseball. Padres have won 8 in a row. Coming off sweeps over the Yankees and the White Sox. That sweep over the Yankees was their first against the Yankees since 2021. We got a challenge here. Challenge powered by T-Mobile. So the call is overturned.
It's been interesting watching how teams and players are using the challenge. It's because you want to make sure you have them late in the game. So leading off an inning, first pitch of an at-bat, challenging there is probably not a great idea. And we get it with Jake Fraley. If you know for sure it's a ball, then you challenge it. It has to be, in your mind, egregious.
Both teams slightly below average coming in their challenges.
Give you an example. Last night, Rockies Houston was doing this game, and the Astros lost their challenges in the 7th inning. And there were numerous pitches in the 8th and 9th that didn't go in the Astros' favor, went for strikeouts for the Rockies, and there was no challenge left. So you gotta be smart about when you use them.
Ball 2 strikes to Fraley. Sounded like a broken bat. And Fraley a little slow getting out of the box. No batter. You know, go back to Sunday in his last start against the Cubs. Bubba Chandler, you'll notice he likes to adjust his hat. And he actually said, no, I didn't want the challenge. It actually worked out in his favor. The call was overturned, and he had to look back with a smile on his face. I still believe, Spilly, that there is more work to be done in terms of clarifying the motion required to challenge. I think it needs to be a demonstrative tapping your head twice.
Sure. Well, the other part is talking to some Major League umpires. Do you know what 23% of your body height is?
No.
Exactly.
Well, how about this? I found this interesting the other day. Umpires are actually getting real-time in-game feedback on their calls at their request.
That's off.
No challenge there from Ben Williamson. But in theory, an umpire after this at-bat could buzz to someone on a headset and say, hey, where was that pitch? Was that a strike? Was it not? Just so that they can continue to get better. On the ground from Williamson. It'll be a 1-2-3 second for Chandler. An efficient start to his night.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball. 1,033 days. That's how long ago Rays ace Shane McClanahan last earned a win, but this Tuesday that drought finally ended. McClanahan picked up his first W after missing the last 2 seasons following multiple left elbow surgeries. And when that final out was recorded, Shane told the media, I kind of blacked out. It just felt like 3 years of emotions. He said the surgeries, losing my father, he said, I just let it all out. He said it was the biggest adrenaline dump and emotional release of his life. And guys, he looked straight into the camera. He said, Mom, I love you. Thank you for being my biggest supporter. This ball is for you. So guys, he's going to give that ball to his mom when he gets back from this road trip. It's been an emotional journey for Shane McClanahan. Of course, I mentioned he did lose his father this offseason. And of course, back-to-back seasons of not being on the mound had to be tough. So it all came to a head when he earned his first win, guys.
No doubt, Tricia. And he had a quote that stuck out to me. It says, some days you don't think you're ever going to get to this point again. And a long rehab with setbacks. You can understand that feeling.
Well, and we're talking about a player that has been on 2 all-star teams and even started an all-star game. Nick
Martinez falling behind Marcelo Zuna here. And the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This was spring training 2025.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. Man, can only imagine what was going through his mind right there.
And that was after coming back from Tommy John. It was a nerve injury then. Hard hit ball from Ozuna. Hanging up into left, and a sliding play by Simpson, but he can't come up with it. Looked like he had it, but it'll fall for a hit. And Ozuna, after big-time struggles to begin the year, is aboard.
Yeah, Ozuna is starting to swing the bat much, much better. And Chandler Simpson, left field, he's been working really hard with Corey Dickerson. He has one of the best jumps in baseball, and it just got underneath the glove.
I'll bring up Nick Gonzalez.
Yesterday's game between the Nationals and the Pirates was one of the most wildly entertaining games I've seen in a long time. I said it was the best, worst baseball game I've ever watched.
Up the third base side, Gonzalez charging hard. Caminero makes the throw in time for the first out. And Ozuna gets to second.
Well, Caminero's known for his bat, but this is a tricky play. You get that in-between hop. You got to shuffle your feet, make a good throw to first. And you see the numbers for Caminero at third base. Not an elite defender.
It's inside.
We're talking to Kevin Cash just because Ben Williamson is one of the better third basemen you'll see.
Another challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Calls over return, Tampa Bay 2,000 remaining.
And Tampa Bay 2 for 2. Spencer Horwitz behind 0-2. Nick Fortes behind the plate, among the league leaders in challenges initiated this year.
Well, Nick's always been known as an outstanding receiver, good blocker, hard worker.
Ball and 2 strikes to Horwitz, who was one of the Pirates' more consistent hitters last season. Strong second half. Didn't make his season debut until mid-May last year. He has yet to crack 100 games in a season at the Major League level. Of course, the former Toronto Blue Jay.
10.
And that barely misses. No challenge from Fortes.
This Pirates offense is so much better than what it was a year ago, and that's not a high bar to go over last year. They were last in baseball in runs scored, but this year as a team, 252 batting average.
I mean, it's early yet, I get it. But to go from a little over 3.5 runs per game to averaging 5 per game, and I know it comes with the usual caveats that it's April, but there's a length to this lineup that we just haven't seen the last couple years.
One of the amazing things that we saw this before the season start was they have these computer projections, and the Pirates had a projection that if they had a higher % chance of winning a World Series than the San Diego Padres did because of their pitching staff.
And even last year, in a year where they finished, what, 20 some odd games under 500, this was a staff that everyone around baseball said was quality. That's a line drive up the line for a base hit. Ozuna rounds third. He'll head home. Horwitz digs for 2. He has an RBI double, and the Pirates have a 1-0 lead.
This is a nice piece of hitting for Spencer Horwitz. He was grinding this bat down. He gets a cutter in under his hands and just pulls the bat head in. And for the Pirates to get on the board first and then use the cone, use your pitching staff hoisting the cone. The story of how this cone came into be is hilarious to me.
That'll bring up Connor Griffin. By the way, a footnote on Horwitz, he's now 8 for 8 lifetime against Nick Martinez, going from down 0-2 in the count to get that double.
That's ownership.
Griffin, hard hit ball to left for a base hit. Horwitz being waved around. Here comes the throw home. It's offline, but the tag is made. Fortes came back across and was able to nab Horwitz.
See if the Pirates get a challenge. Now Chandler Simpson, this is perfect. Come running through the ball, use your momentum, and then Nick Fortes, I mean, that play from Nick to take an in-between hop. You want that throw to have a little bit more grass, a little bit too much air, but it's on target somewhat, but with enough speed for Nick to change direction and make the tag. Great play.
Nick Martinez loves it. There's a ground ball up the middle from Henry Davis. And that'll end the inning. So an RBI taken away from Connor Griffin. But the Pirates lead 1-0. Baseball on Apple TV presented by Verilux Lenses, along with the 7-year Major League veteran Ryan Spilborghs, Trisha Whitaker down on the field, Alex Faust here with you at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, celebrating its 25th anniversary. You know, when you come into the ballpark, you hear the public address say it's the best ballpark in America, and sometimes it's pumping their own tires. This one, it's actually correct.
This is, I tell any baseball fan that wants to go visit a stadium, they're like, Spilly, where should I go see a game? I say, PNC, go to Pittsburgh. Every time.
Bubba Chandler, 6 up, 6 down as he faces 7, 8, and 9. Cedric Mullins, Nick Fortes, and Richie Palacios.
Nope. Come on.
Cedric's trying to get his offense going. 138 batting average. Has been playing good defense. But if you've ever watched him play when he's right, he's a game changer.
And Mullins gets a hold of one to right, but it hangs up there for Ryan O'Hearn. During the break, Trisha caught up with Don Kelly. Our manager interview is presented by Sage.
All right, I want to start with that inning. Ozuna, that base hitter. You started to see his bat come to life a little bit.
Yeah, he's been working real hard, and he's a veteran guy. He knows what he's got to do. He's been through it before. Just keep working, and he's hitting well.
Horwitz, that RBI double. What was impressive about that piece of hitting and getting you guys on the board?
I think it was laying off a couple tough pitches there and being able to foul one off, gave him a chance to get another pitch and drive one down the line.
Glad we appreciate the time.
Thanks.
Guys?
Nick Fortes jumping on a first pitch. And a 1-out single.
That first pitch fastball, you're not going to waste much time with Bubba Chandler right now. He's just throwing a lot of strikes. Nick gets his foot down early. This Rays team is the second toughest team in baseball to strike out.
Bring up Palacios. During this 6-game winning streak for Tampa Bay, they have scored 5 or more runs in each game. This despite not a ton of slug in their lineup, at least to start.
Yeah, but they have a .264 team batting average, which if you don't care about batting average, I tell you, you're wrong. On base percentage, .341, everything way above league average, and they steal bags. 21 stolen bases so far.
Fly ball to the left from Palacios, right at Brian Reynolds. Tricia.
Yeah, guys, Nick Fortes has a knack for hitting high fastballs, and there's a reason for that. His dad used to throw him BP growing up in the backyard. He could never throw it quite right. He always threw it up a little bit. And if you look at the numbers, he does have good numbers against stuff up rather than down, and that's because, well, his dad wasn't very good at throwing BP, guys.
That's great. Thanks for that, Tricia.
Yeah, I mean, you're a product of your environment. So if your environment is the old man, is throwing everything up, you'll be good at hitting pitches up. Otherwise, you're not hitting.
Anymore, the home run derby is just as much about dad throwing BP as it is the slugger at the plate, feels like. In the air to left, pretty shallow. Reynolds has beat on it. And Simpson is retired. 1-0 Pittsburgh, middle third. Baseball, we commemorated Jackie Robinson Day on Wednesday. Capital One is helping us in that effort, reminding us that on April 17th, 1955, Roberto Clemente made his major league debut against Jackie Robinson and the Brooklyn Dodgers. Of course, it was April 15th, 1947, where Jackie made his big league debut.
And many people feel that Roberto Clemente had the same impact that Jackie had for Latin Americans and specifically for Puerto Ricans. And there's a great movie called Clemente. And there's 1971 when they won the World Series. One of the first things he did when he was the World Series MVP, he says, "Can I speak Spanish before?" And he tells his family this is one of the most important things that's ever happened, speaking in Spanish, and it really meant so much to so many Latin Americans.
O'Neal Cruz with a fly ball to left. Simpson got turned around, but he'll park underneath it to make the catch. During the break, Trisha Whitaker caught up with Kevin Cash. Our manager interview is presented by Sage.
All right, Nick Fortes on that tag. How on the money was that?
That was an impressive play on both sides. Chandler getting rid of the ball quick. With 40, that's such an athletic play. When it takes you inside the line, they got to come back out on the other side.
Defensively, you guys have been so strong this season. We've talked about Corey Dickerson, your first base coach, playing a role in that. How much has he played a role in moments like that?
I think he's just helped our guys a lot. We've really done a nice job on the outfield, kind of cleaning it up. We got some speed out there, but they're playing with a lot of athleticism and confidence, in large part due to Corey.
Kevin, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Tricia. Last year, the Rays were ranked 20th in outs above average, and although their errors are still among the league leaders, it seems like that they are improving day by day with especially their outfield defense. And now you got Ben Williamson playing at short, and he's one of the best defenders in the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good defensive unit right now, and for Corey Dickerson, had a chance to cover him when he was with the Rockies, and he made himself into a Gold Glove defender, and he made himself a Gold Glove defender here in Pittsburgh.
This is driven to right, and it skips in front of Fraley for a one-out single. And Brandon Lau with a couple of absolutely cracked baseballs. A double in the first and now a single here in the third.
Yeah, two Rockets again. We're not going to call them revenge ABs, but they definitely are. I mean, we know that Lau loved his time in Tampa. He has no ill will against his former teammates, but there's just some added when you're facing up against a team that traded you.
Ryan Reynolds now. How about this, Philly? We talk about the playoff drought for the Pirates. No active player has appeared in more regular season games without a postseason appearance than Reynolds. But I want to go back to what we talked about at the top, that going to the first day of spring training, Reynolds said he felt that this spring training was different than any of the previous 7 he had been a part of.
Talking to Justin Lawrence in the clubhouse, he said Brent Reynolds is the happiest he's ever seen him.
No.
So I think there's something to it. And when you're happy, you play better.
Last year snapped a 4-year streak, 20 or more home runs per season. Good take from Reynolds, 3 balls and a strike. Reynolds previously had the largest contract in Pirates history until Connor Griffin's bank breaker. We're going to have a challenge here.
Quick challenge from Reynolds. He didn't like the call.
Pitch was called a ball strike, batter's down.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. No.
Pitch was a strike. Pittsburgh has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, you don't mind the challenges when it can flip a result. So if he got it right, he gets a walk.
And it would have been 2 on and 1 out for Ryan O'Hearn. Instead, it's a full count. Payoff as Lau takes off. It is ball 4. So in the end, Reynolds gets the walk. I think Fortes is trying to challenge here. I don't think he's going to get one, though.
We'll see. So I just saw this play the other day where if you're the base runner and it's a ball 4, you have to, if you're stealing the bag, you'll see guys in like years past, if it's ball 4, you'd see him stop. Now you have to complete the play.
And Kevin Cash is going to want an explanation, too. Yeah, I wonder in situations like that where the catcher has to react to the base stealer, how do you initiate a challenge?
Yeah, so Lau gets a good jump now. Watch, he's going to play this one out even though he hears it's ball 4. Just because if they challenge, they call it strike 3, they're going to look down to second base. If they tag him, he's going to be out. So it'll be a double play. So Fortes, I'm watching him too. He throws it quickly, watching the play, and then he probably goes to his hat. It's too long.
Do you think there's any remedy for that?
There should be.
Nonetheless, 2 on, 1 out. Ryan O'Hearn at the plate.
That's off the plate.
Ball 1.
A lot of adjustments with this ABS system that it's going to take a little bit more time, but I love it so far.
Yeah. There's always unintended consequences with any new rule. O'Hearn, top 5 in the National League in average on base. Just a bit under 1,000 OPS to begin the season. Martinez scuffling a bit this inning.
Is that combination? We do see that changeup usually get to around 30%. A little bit more sinkers tonight.
O'Hearn taps it off the mound. Going to be a tough play for Williamson to his left. He adjusted well to the carom and got the out at first with both runners moving up.
Yeah, really tough play for Ben Williamson just because he's expecting Nick Martinez to field this. If he fields it, he has to cover the bag. So you saw he was going to the bag, ready for the throw, and then once he gets past Nick, he has to redirect.
That'll bring up Ozuna.
Come out! Come out!
Pitch clock violation of Martinez. And that's ball 1. Broken bat, pop-up in the infield, and Williamson will make the catch. The Pirates strand 2. Three-two count. Reacting to that, throwing down, and then denied a challenge from Brock Ballou, much to the dismay of the Rays. Ted Barrett, former Major League umpire, joins us. Ted, walk us through why that challenge was not allowed.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We tested the ABS quite extensively in AAA, the Arizona Fall League, and, you know, you think through every possible scenario. The problem is there's no replay in the minor leagues, only in the major leagues. So as this scenario started to play out, again, the catcher's got a challenge immediately. And you see there what happened is, just as the hitter did for Pittsburgh in the previous inning, he looked in the dugout. Now, was he trying to get a signal? Probably not. But the fact that he did nulled the chance to challenge.
Interesting. Appreciate the insight, Ted. It's just a wrinkle that I'm sure will have to be smoothed out over time.
Pitch was called a strike, the batter's challenge.
Got another challenge here. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch was a strike. Tampa Bay has 1 challenge remaining.
And Tampa Bay has now burned a challenge. Junior Caminero. 1-1 count.
The 1-1 count, if you feel like it's egregious, again, to go from a 1-1 count to 1-2 versus 2-1 is the largest discrepancy in batting average. Some teams are fining their players. They're like within the clubhouse. If you get it wrong, you get fined, depending on the situation.
Caminero rolls over on 1. 1 gone. Formula One brings the heat to South Beach with the Miami Grand Prix. Drama, celebrity sightings, and wheel-to-wheel action coming your way Sunday, May 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern on Apple TV, the new U.S. home of Formula One. Every practice, every qualifying, live and on demand. So with 1 gone, here's Aranda.
Bubba Chandler, 11 of 12 first pitch strikes.
Seems to be in a great rhythm.
Inside.
Aranda takes inside. Might have yanked that one. Wonder how much of a difference it would have made for the Rays, even though they were fading down the stretch, to have Aranda healthy. Remember, this Rays team was threatening for first place in the AL East around the halfway point last year.
Yeah, then they just fell apart. And you're right, when it comes to Aranda, this guy can hit.
Aranda, broken bat, foul. And nice catch by the ball boy over there. And Aranda, one of a handful of Mexican-born infielders to earn an all-star selection. Not many on this list, and Aranda and Isak Paredes have been great.
And Aranda has this fantastic relationship with Alejandro Kirk, who unfortunately is on the IL with the Toronto Blue Jays. Both grew up in Tijuana. Here's the play from the ball boy down the right field line. Into the net, and then he tips his cap.
Don't forget, these guys get voted on to go to the All-Star game, so, you know, you gotta have it ready for the TikTok, you know, a big play or two, right?
Yeah, put that on the reel.
Full count here. And Aranda with a fly ball to right. O'Hearn is there. 2 gone. Still just 1 hit for Tampa Bay. Bubba Chandler. 91 pitches his last start. We talked about how he lamented he couldn't get deeper into the game against the Cubs. Pirates led 5-0 after 2 innings. Lead was 6-3 when Chandler departed. Bullpen blew the game after that. But those 91 pitches were the most for any Pittsburgh starter this year. And we asked Don Kelly about that, and there actually is a little bit of load management going on because they're without Jared Jones, their 5th starter. Paul Skeens, remember the World Baseball Classic, so that interrupted his spring training. Plus he had the opening day fiasco.
I mean, it makes sense. It is so important to keep this Pirates overall pitching healthy. And so if you can get through the first couple months, because that's usually where we see the big spikes in injuries are at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. And if you can find a way to limit that, the Pirates will be in great shape.
That May 9th date is significant. That is the day after Don Kelly was named interim manager. Promoted from bench coach. Off the hands to short. And another 1-2-3 inning for Chandler. Just 1 hit for the Rays through 4. Earlier tonight here in Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens was honored for winning last year's Cy Young Award. And joining him down on the field was a very popular Pirate, Doug Drabeck, who now joins us upstairs here in the booth. It's so cool to see this Pirates team right now with where they're at. It feels great to be at the ballpark, I'm sure, for anyone associated with the Pirates, right?
You're right. Especially every year they've done a good job and let me come back for something. And I absolutely love the park. And right now they're playing good ball. So well, yeah, it's a good combo.
It's pretty amazing when you think about the history of the Pirates and 3 Cy Young Award winners. You won 1 in 1990. To have this connection with Paul Skeens, who's now one of the faces of the game, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it is special. You know, when I first met Vern Law, it was kind of like, wow. Right. You know, he was the last one that was 30 years beforehand and stuff. And so it's nice to have another one here in Pittsburgh and be part of that.
This team, the vibes around the group just seem like they're so different than the last couple of years. Can you describe what it feels like around this organization right now?
Hey, it's good. First of all, the city of Pittsburgh, the people, we absolutely loved it. And I think they feed off that. And it just seems like you said, they're a team, they're a unit, and it's just not a bunch of guys going out and playing for numbers and stuff like that.
Does it help that you've got a true Yinzer managing the team?
That could help. That could help, yes.
That's strike 3 called. And Nick Gonzalez is retired. Let's take you back. Pirates had some good teams back in your day.
What does it make you think when you see these highlights of what you used to do with the baseball?
I try to figure out if it would work nowadays.
What do you think?
I don't know. Like, I've been with the Diamondbacks for 17 years, and you know, we always talk, especially with the younger pitchers and stuff, and the ABS system and all that, and they're always asking, do you think you would have lasted in today's game? And I don't have an answer, but it would be fun to be able to not have health issues and then just see how far it would go. I always say yes. So
would you have been one of the pitchers that would have been adamant about challenging, you think?
Yeah, every org is different. We don't like pitchers challenging because, and
you guys are too emotional.
I was one of the bigger ones that said, look, I would have been the worst. That was a strike. Every pitch was a strike. So, yeah, I probably would have been bad at it.
This will get away from Richie Palacios.
Yeah, Spencer Horwitz 9 for 9 off Nick Martinez, and he just has complete ownership of Nick. All right, Dougie, when you think about a Hall of Fame manager in Jim Leyland, and now the relationship between Jim and Don Kelly, what do you see that knowledge being passed forward to a new young manager?
Well, I can obviously he probably took as much as he could from him and stuff, and I can see that the way Jim relayed everything to his players. I can see the same thing happening, and you know, with Kelly just kind of feeding off that and just slowly having his own style, but also knowing what works. You can see that as a positive thing.
He's not doing the karaoke like Jim Leyland.
Okay.
By the way, Connor Griffin nearly beat that out. He's still lingering around there, was looking at the dugout to see if they were going to challenge this, but how about this kid and how special he seems?
Yeah, you know, 19 years old, right? You know, before I came up here, Jim Trudenich and Joe Billadu, the ones who had set this all up and stuff, I was like, is this guy legit? And they said, yeah, he's legit. So, you know, things like that are fun to watch start up, but then also progress and see how it goes.
Is this the most excited you've been for this organization in a while?
Yeah, I came back, what was it, 2013. But yeah, it just seeing how things are going. I mean, it's early, but it just seems like there's a little bit different atmosphere.
Certainly this ballpark, the fan support you mentioned. I mean, just when I go back to when Griffin made his debut here at home, how electric this ballpark was. You mentioned 202013. There's a couple of fun playoff teams. It just, this building shakes when the fans are into it.
Yeah, man, that's good. I love to see it again because, like I said, we love Pittsburgh, and we liked where we were living. We made good friends, and just the people in general they're genuine, and you know, they love you. So
there's probably an attitude here, I would imagine, that if you work hard and earn it, they'll have your back forever.
That's the whole thing right there, and that's what I mean. Just you know, you give them respect, and they give you respect back, and that's the way it should be. And you know, it's good to see. Like I said, I love everything about this area. So
it's amazing. I mean, the 3 Cy Young Award winners. You were one of my favorites in the 90s. The Pirates team was really kind of an easy team to root for, just because you saw that work ethic, the blue-collar style of play. You guys were grimy and gritty, and it's starting to feel like that's what we're seeing with this team right now, too.
Henry Davis draws a walk. 2 on and 2 out now for the Pirates.
Is it the size of the athletes that has changed the most for you when you're seeing, I mean, a guy like O'Neal Cruz is 6'7".
Right, yeah. Maybe there's a few standouts, but I think for me, saying obviously being with the Diamondbacks for so long, just there's more the training aspect.
Yeah.
There's more tools. There's more, I call them toys and stuff like that. And guys are, you know, they take a little bit off and then they get back into it hard. And that's what I see, where you've got, you know, smaller guys throwing 99, you know, consistently and stuff like that. So.
You played with Bonds. He was a pure athlete back then. You got another pure athlete here at the plate in O'Neal Cruz.
Right, yes.
What was it like playing with Barry every day?
It was good. I wanted him out in left field because you knew, and I wanted him to have 4 at-bats every game. So you knew something always good could happen at the plate. And he, after the first couple of years, he improved in left field a ton, and for me, he became an outstanding outfield. I just saw the improvement, and the fly balls to the field, outfield wall where he holds it to a single, things like that, and so it was fun.
Well, you're good luck right now for the Pirates because they've loaded the bases. They're also rocking the all-black brand new City Connect, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to grasp all because back then we didn't have any of that. And actually, I saw Bob walk down the row a little bit, and it was like we had white and we had gray, and that was it. Now everybody has all these different uniforms and colors and stuff, but still trying to get my hands around everybody's City Connect uniforms and stuff like that.
Well,
but these are nice.
This might be a guy to do some damage here for the Pirates in Brandon Lau, who already has 2 hits on the night. Bases are loaded for the Pirates with 2 down here in the 4th. Pitching coach visit from Kyle Snyder, trying to settle down Nick Martinez. Lau had a grand slam on Sunday.
Oh no! This is called a ball that catches pounded.
The challenge here from Nick Fortes. Tampa Bay, if they're wrong here, they are out of challenges.
Ooh.
Close.
This was the ball. Tampa Bay is out of challenges.
Wow, that is so early to lose your challenges in the 4th inning.
Now they get to play regular baseball. That's what we say every time somebody loses both of them. That's what we yell.
Lau pops it up. Left field. Simpson is there. The Pirates leave the bases loaded. Doug, we thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
It's great to see you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug.
Enjoyed it. Thank
Pirates trying to capture an era of baseball, get back to the postseason like these guys did. Two of the top teams in the West battle on Sunday Night Soccer this week. South Korean icon Sun Heung-min at LAFC host San Jose. Coverage begins 6:30 Eastern. Match time 7 on Apple TV. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielbergs, Trisha Whitaker here with you in Pittsburgh. 1-0 Pirates. They've had traffic every inning. Tampa Bay has not against Bubba Chandler. Let's look back at your spill the beans.
Yeah, Hubba Bubba with that fastball has been working really well. And Hoist the Conies, he has no walks. No walks through 4 innings. He had 12 in his first 3 games, so it's working.
Fraley, Williamson, and Mullins here for the Rays.
Well, Bubba Chandler, Roy Ruben Chandler, 2A athlete in high school, good football player.
Hard hit ball up the middle. Cruz tracks it down.
You can just tell what kind of athlete he is, and with the carry that he gets through the strike zone. 98-mile-an-hour pitches this season, he has 21 of them. There's been 148 total this season. It's pretty wild.
You mentioned he was a great football player. He was going to be a quarterback at Clemson. That's no small thing.
No.
And he gave that up to play baseball. Pittsburgh offered him a $3 million signing bonus. So money talks. Chandler made his major league debut in August of last year.
Yeah, I was here for it. That was crazy.
Well, because at the time, Billy, right? You know, we're all in Paul Skeen's mania as he's hurtling towards a Cy Young, and then you realize, oh, they've got other guys coming along too.
Yeah, we saw Braxton Ashcraft, and then we saw Bubba Chandler come into the game. I mean, he has 33 pitches over 100 miles an hour, and you saw Chase Dolander in there with the Rockies. He was lighting up the radar gun last night.
On the ground, right side, Chandler off the mound to cover. Williamson is retired.
Just another good sign of how athletic Bubba Chandler is. Watch him get off the mound. He has to go find the bag and then record the out. And you can see he is athletic. That's why it's so important for, you know, athletes to play multiple sports too.
Mullins trying to lay down a bunt. You're a parent, Spilly. I'm sure you know this very well. Having kids specialize is probably the worst thing you can do.
Yes. At an early age. You'll specialize when you get better. I always talk about how other sports translate to the sport you end up picking. I mean, basketball translates to shortstops. I mean, being able to use your feet in soccer translates to outfield and all the different athletic plays you make. Plus, it's good for your brain to get outside of the baseball environment where it's built on failure. You don't want to live. You don't want to live there all the time.
Oh, 2 to Cedric Mullins, and he pops this up mile high and foul. Chandler at 58 pitches. As we take a look at the pitch breakdown, relying on the fastball. Pirates coming into the day, the third best ERA in baseball. Fly ball to center, and drifting over towards right, O'Hearn will cut in front of Cruz to make the catch. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses. Alex Faust, Ryan Spilborgs, Trisha Whitaker here with you. Presented by Capital One. Our facts pertaining to Jackie Robinson Day earlier this week. Jackie Robinson had 32 home runs and 127 runs batted in against the Pirates. That was the most against any opponent. Pirates have had traffic every inning, but just one run on their 6 hits. They've left 7 on base already. Reynolds to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, ideally, you don't want to have any traffic on, but what we've seen with Nick Martinez, he just has the ability with his changeup to find a way out of traffic. Are all the cones?
Speaking of traffic and traffic cones.
Yeah, they're missing.
Bounding ball to first. Aranda is there. Tricia?
Yeah, guys, wanted to talk a little bit about Nick Martinez. We spoke with Kevin Cash before the game about Martinez and what a great clubhouse guy he is. He said when they acquired Martinez, Terry Francona called Cash and said, "You are getting one of my all-time favorite players." And Cash said, "Listen, Tito doesn't say something like that if he doesn't mean it." He also added that Martinez is a rah-rah guy when he's pitching and even when he's not pitching. And guys, you'll notice he paces back and forth in the dugout the entire time that he's not on the mound. And I leaned over and I asked the Rays hitting coach Ozzie Timmons, I said, does he do that all the time? He said he doesn't when he's pitching and when he's not pitching. He's just always moving in the dugout, guys.
He seems like he's just a ball of energy. Veteran swingman. Always willing to change his role. Bullpen starter throughout his career.
Yeah, and I find such value for a pitcher like that in an organization, any organization. He was part of the Reds when they were, I mean, they made it to the postseason last year. Seen him do it with the Padres.
Nicky smiles, as his teammates call him. Hard hit ball, center field. This will be no trouble for Mullins. You know, since last year's trade deadline, they've made a lot of changes to this roster, both pitchers and position players.
This is something the Rays have done. Historically, they refresh their roster as frequently as any team in baseball. And if they have opportunities, especially what we usually see is that they trade guys that are pitchers that are arbitration eligible or have pitched through arbitration. That's why it was a little bit surprising to see Shane Baz getting moved. But they love the return that they got. And when they get a return that they feel is worth the player, they're not afraid to move it.
Ozuna 1 for 2. Now this Rays team, which has missed the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, they have not won a playoff series since winning the pennant in the shortened 2020 season. In a lot of ways, the victim of their own success. Eric Neander's been so good at accumulating prospects, turning guys around. Kyle Snyder's, got the pixie dust going.
That's right.
With turning pitchers around or developing pitchers.
Yeah, Kyle's at the end of the dugout.
Here you go. 1-2.
Just in this high disparity world of payroll across baseball, it is harder than ever for the smaller markets to compete. Ball and 2 strikes here to Ozuna. And Ozuna goes the other way. That is down for a base hit. Cut off by Fraley. And that'll hold Ozuna to a single.
Well, Ozuna this year got off to a horrible start. He was actually booed. And he said, hey, I deserved it. I deserved it. But personality-wise, just like Nick Martinez, very positive. He's a great influence for a lot of hitters. But when Marcel gets right, and you see how the head wasn't moving at all, he can catch fire as well as anybody.
He had a 2 for 39 slump. And now he has hits in 5 games in a row. Multi-hit day, setting the table for Gonzalez. Trying to find a hole. Williamson, a diving stop. And he goes the short way to end the inning. What a play from Ben Williamson. He vacuums up this hard hit ground ball and ends the inning. Tonight's aerial coverage in Pittsburgh is brought to you by Goodyear. What a look from our drone high above PNC Park on a marvelous Friday night. Oh, fireworks after the game. Nice crowd on hand here in Pittsburgh.
Legitsburg.
First pitch swinging. Nick Fortes fouls it off. Bubba Chandler with a one-hitter through 5. His longest career outing is 6 innings. He did that once last year.
He's pitch efficient right now. He's at 60 pitches. That's the thing for a lot of young pitchers, is realizing as good as major league hitters are, you have to challenge them. You have to stay in the strike zone. And we mentioned this, well, I have to mention it again, the Tampa Bay Rays are out of challenges. So if there's a ball off the plate, especially late in the game, you got a 1-0 game. There's going to be an opportunity where a pitch is going to be close, and it could swing the game.
47 strikes on 63 pitches for Chandler. Now there is a question that's been floated about this Pirates rotation. It's about experience. You've got Mitch Keller, who's the most experienced starter. Jose Urquidy was just DFA'd today. He had 70 starts in the majors. That's more than the rest of the staff other than Keller and Skeens combined.
Yeah, not worried about it just because stuff plays.
Strikeout of Fortes making him look silly. Third K for Chandler. Let's head back to the studio. Lauren Gardner with an update. What do you got, LG?
What's going on, Alex? Let's get you out to the Big Apple for the Royals and the Yankees. Bottom 4, Ben Rice with a 2-run shot. His 6th of the season gives the Yanks a 2-run lead in the first game of the series.
All right, LG. Yankees, who have lost 7 of 10, got swept by the Rays last weekend.
Here we go. Yeah, that series was fun. The Rays, they out-baseballed the Yankees.
Yeah. One of the big moments of that series was Jazz Chisholm not knowing the force-out rules.
I watched it back. We talked about it on radio. There really wasn't much he could do. He also had a 5-man infield with Cody Bellinger jumping over a ball.
Tapped on the ground, first base side. Chandler, long way to go, and he gave way in the end to Horwitz. Well, he was motoring up the line the same pace as Palacios.
Spencer said he good. Well, Chandler doesn't have a hit yet, and he's been one of the players that I've been most looking forward to watching. Horowitz is probably yelling, I got it. And they're just buying Bubba some time. That's all they're doing right here is trying to give him a little break. But in the case of Chandler Simpson, what I'm hearing about him is his work ethic is off the charts. And not only the work ethic of what he's doing on the field, it's how he's modeling his game. He's been watching videos of Rod Carew, Tony Gwynn. He watches Usain Bolt run just so he can perfect his craft. And when you have a player with talent that is now acquiring more and more technique, that's when you start seeing a superstar.
It's inside.
Made an important play in the field. Back in the 2nd inning, Pirates are already up 1-0. Threw out Spencer Horwitz.
No, I did not.
As he bluffs on a bunt attempt. Take you back to the second inning, and here's this throw that was a bit offline, but Fortes made the most of it.
Yeah, but watch how much ground he covers to come in and shorten the throw. Then he makes his best throw that he can. Nick Fortes, super athletic catcher play. And it's the reason why it's a one-run game and not two.
Simpson, who does not have a hit his last 12 at-bats now. You see the defensive improvement we talked about with Tampa Bay and hiring Corey Dickerson, who said he had to get over some of the bitter feelings about being DFA'd by the Rays. And then, interestingly enough, was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates 5 days after that. That would have been a strike if Tampa Bay had a challenge, but don't matter. 3 balls and a strike here. And Simpson pops it up left side, drifting towards the seats, and it will land foul. Let's look back at that outfield assist with the help of StatCast.
So his hardest throw of the career, 96 miles an hour, but even on StatCast, you can see how much ground he covered to shorten the throw. Otherwise, if you wait back, there's no way you can make that play.
Payoff pitch. On the ground, off the glove of Chandler. The ricochet right to Lau. And Simpson, with that blazing speed, is able to beat it out.
This is what I'm talking about. I cannot wait to watch this guy now steal it back, because with 2 outs, he's going to put some pressure. Ball in play, doesn't strike out, kicked off the glove of Chandler, and he got no chance to get Chandler.
Chandler had retired 10 in a row, but an infield single for Simpson. And now it's chaos mode for Tampa Bay if they have their way.
Well, it just buys, because Simpson's on, and with Junior Caminero, who can spin around a fastball, he gets fastballs now. So not only is Simpson putting pressure on defense right now, it changes. Like, you don't see pitch outs. That was a pitch out. That was a slide step pitch out. That's why it's so fun.
7 stolen bases, among the league leaders after 44 last year. Whoa, look out. This will get to the backstop, and Simpson will get the second.
Well, that's exactly what happens when you have speed. Speed is speeding up Bubba Chandler, and because he sped him up in his delivery, he can't get his arm to finish on time. That was really scary for Junior Caminero. But see how quick he has to go? It doesn't give him enough time to get his mechanics. He's saying, my bad.
He's only had to deal with a base runner in 1 inning tonight. That's back in the 3rd. Evens the count here against Caminero. Caminero, 45 home runs last year.
That's all.
Full count. Only Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge had more homers in the American League last season. Caminero stays alive.
Well, those numbers that's early in the year. Once he gets his swing dialed in and he starts using opposite field, 2-strike approach, especially in these scenarios where, you know, ball play with Chandler Simpson, some chaos still can happen.
Payoff pitch, and this will be popped foul, the bat flying out of his hands. Good battle here from Caminero. Might want to go back and get some pine tar.
Yeah, that was all the way in Camanero's kitchen.
Good.
Another payoff. Caminero lines it up the middle. That's a base hit. Here comes Simpson flying around third, and the Rays have tied the game. RBI single for Caminero.
Well, so much of that was created by Chandler Simpson getting on base, creating some havoc, wild pitch. And then what I talk about, when Caminero starts using off-field gap, 2 strikes, those numbers with runners in scoring position are going to improve. Now, O'Neill Cruz trying to make a crazy throw from center field, but Caminero didn't take advantage of it.
He stays put at first on a throw that was not cut off. And Chandler a little out of sorts here this inning.
He got those 2 quick outs, and then Chandler Simpson happened. There's Caminero, base hit. Cruz is going to spin. He's got one of the best arms in baseball, but Caminero is still celebrating and didn't take advantage of an errant throw.
.24 pitches this inning for Chandler, and you can see the sweat starting to get into that hat. And by far the highest total in any inning tonight. Stirring going on in the Pirates bullpen now.
Mason Montgomery starting to warm up.
Jonathan Aranda 0 for 2 tonight. 2-0. Mason Montgomery, as you mentioned, warming, the former Tampa Bay Ray.
This will be good if Bubba can figure out if he can come back from 3-0 and get out of this inning. I mean, these are growth moments for young players. Is when you're starting to run out of gas, can you still get a big league hitter out?
Another check on Caminero at first.
And if I'm Jonathan Aranda with a 3-0 count, if he gives me a cookie.
Non-competitive pitch for ball 4. So the Rays have gotten to Bubba Chandler here a bit. After just 1 hit through the first 5 innings. 5 2/3 for that matter, as he struck out Fortes, got Palacios to ground out. A single from Simpson, an RBI single from Caminero, and now a 2-out walk to Aranda. That'll bring up the cleanup man, Yandy Diaz. Leads the American League in batting average coming into the night. Five straight out of the strike zone.
Yeah, now this is a grind for him, because Bubba's closing in on 30 pitches this inning. Don't forget the covering first base. I mean, he's run. He's made a couple running plays the last 2 innings, so your legs are feeling it.
Induced a swing from Diaz. Ball balls and a strike.
This is like the final 2 minutes of your intense workout, or if you've ever run a marathon, the last mile trying to gut through it.
Off the hands, popped up. And the inning is over. Bubba Chandler through 6, but has the decision been taken away with the Rays tying the game? Let's take a look at this Adobe standout score from the second inning. Spencer Horwitz, an RBI double to give the Pirates the lead. Continues to own Nick Martinez. A 1-1 game, though, with the Rays tying it in the top half of the 6th. And there's Horwitz again off of Martinez. 3 for 3 tonight. And the leadoff man is aboard.
I was laughing at the hit probability because it said 21%. I was like, wait a second. Horwitz has never made an out off Nick Martinez. It should have been 100% hit probability. There's certain guys they're your favorite dance partner.
There you go.
Yeah, they're meant to dance together.
That sets up Connor Griffin. And Griffin fouls this off. Griffin, who, of course, had that storybook opening day and then went into a bit of a slump. An 0 for 14 rut after his first big league hit. You can understand a player like this feeling a lot of early pressure with the frenzy surrounding his signing and his first big league hit. The guys on the team, though, have said they've been more impressed with how he handled that slump. That was Brandon Lau saying that.
And he's going to go through a lot of them. I mean, he turns 20 this month. He's looked good at short. He looks smooth at short, so that the first thing that's most important to me is playing defense. That's why they have him hitting low in the lineup.
Bluff from first. It's fouled straight back.
Yeah, eventually Connor's going to be hitting in the middle. He's going to be at the top at some point. But he's going to slump. He's going to, I mean, these are all first for him. His first time facing Nick Martinez, first time facing Rays. I mean, there's so much to learn.
On the ground, third base side. Caminero to second for one. On to first, not in time. Griffin beats it out and reaches on the fielder's choice.
Caminero getting to the side of the baseball. Good clean throw to Palacios. But Connor's just too fast. Let's watch him run.
Well, Nick Martinez did his job despite all the traffic. It's a 1-1 game here in the 6th. Tonight's odds are courtesy of BetMGM. Odds to win National League Rookie of the Year. Where would you put Connor Griffin here among this group?
I think he's in the right spot right there. I mean, Sal Stewart looks fantastic with the Cincinnati Reds. Noel McLean, probably the best starter for the New York Mets, even with Freddie Peralta. JJ Weatherholt's really fun.
But Griffin aboard. Pitching change for the Rays. Griffin Jacks, former Minnesota Twin, in the game. Runner goes. Throw down. Not in time. Just making sure that Griffin kept his hand on the bag.
second stolen base of the season for Connor Griffin. He got a good jump.
What were you telling me earlier, Spilly, about 1 year in high school, how many stolen bases he had? It was like 86 or something?
I think they had him at 87 stolen bases. And I was like, that can't, is that a typo?
Right.
Griffin Jax has struggled this year. He's ahead on Henry Davis here. Jax, who was expected to take some of the high leverage work in the Tampa Bay bullpen. They're without Garrett Clevenger and Edwin Uceta. But Griffin has fallen down the pecking order in the bullpen with Tampa Bay. Hard hit ground ball to third. Caminero gobbles it up and goes across the diamond for the second out.
The ball was hit hard from Henry Davis, but nice play from Junior. It's almost like the ball caught him. Kevin Cash was talking about Captain Griffin Jax today, saying they're just trying to get him right. They really believe in his stuff. I wasn't kidding. The ball almost hit Caminero in the foot.
There's O'Neal Cruz.
Sorry.
0 for 2 with a walk. You call Jax captain because he is the first ever graduate of the Air Force Academy to appear in a big league game. Of course, Paul Skeen started his collegiate career at the Air Force Academy before going to LSU, and those two have a bond.
He is so connected to Air Force, and he has family members that are serving overseas right now, and he's always thinking about them.
He skips away from Fortes and rolls all the way towards the Pirates dugout, stays in play. They'll move Griffin up 90 feet.
Just an off-speed pitch that kicks off the dirt. I mean, really nothing Nick Fortes could do. Took a funky hop as soon as it hit the dirt.
Two balls and a strike to Cruz. And he gets a piece of this one. 98 on the fastball.
In the case of O'Neal Cruz, he's simplified his swing. That looks great. A little ice cream on a Friday night.
Where's ours?
After the game.
I gotta wait. It's not fair. Cruz with a high fly ball to right field. Pretty deep. That ball is gone! O'Neal Cruz has given the Pirates the lead.
O'Neal Cruz last year, miserable year at the plate. He cleaned up his swing. And this is not an awful pitch. It's a sweeper backdoor. But this gives you an idea of the plate coverage. The welding mask on. Sweeper away, but with the big arms of O'Neal, he can get his barrel to it. I mean, 103 off his bat like it's nothing. And just a real frustrating start for Griffin Jax.
6th homer of the season for Cruz. 19 runs batted in now.
Nice play.
That's why you bring your glove to the ballpark, especially on that porch.
O'Neal Cruz with those 19 RBIs. Now tied for the third most in the big leagues. Tampa Bay's bullpen has been a glaring issue.
No.
Remember, Pete Fairbanks declined his option. He moved on in free agency. Talked about the injuries to Clevenger and Seta. And they thought that Jax was going to be a big part of their bullpen, but it has been a struggle to start this season. O'Neal Cruz with a bomb over the Clemente wall in right. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are up 3-1. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. Official jerseys, memorabilia, hats, hoodies got covered this season. Scan the QR code or visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. And a reminder that Pitch Hit and Run is the free MLB skills competition for players aged 7 to 14. Host a local competition. Give the kids a chance to make it to the national finals at the 2026 World Series. Visit pitchhitrun.com. First pitch swinging, a base hit for Jake Fraley, just beyond the glove of Connor Griffin. Off the new pitcher, Mason Montgomery.
Yeah, first pitch to the bat, left on left, and Fraley does most of his damage against righties. Wow. Connor was so close to making just a ridiculous circus catch.
That was a lot closer than it appeared.
Yeah.
So the book is closed on Chandler, who's now in line for the win. As you look at Montgomery's numbers on the season, acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays in an offseason trade. I thought this note was interesting. Montgomery throws a fastball harder than any lefty besides Aroldis Chapman.
Isn't that crazy? But like anybody, you might have a big arm, but can you throw strikes?
Two balls and two strikes as Montgomery hits triple digits.
42.5% strikeout rate.
And then there's Mason Miller.
That's 77%.
That's absurd. There goes the runner from first. And it's fouled off. Jake Fraley has twice stolen 20 bases.
Yeah, Fraley's a good athlete, and the Rays are very familiar with him. They originally drafted him. Well, I was talking to some hitters that faced Mason Miller, and nobody has an idea of what to do. Do you hunt fastball? He throws more sliders than fastballs. Nobody knows how to hit him.
Untouchable. One gone.
Well, don't forget, for Tampa, they're out of challenges, so if that might have been a ball, you can't challenge anymore.
Cedric Mullins now. Mullins with a couple of flyouts.
I really believe that any team that comes into Pittsburgh with his pitching staff is, as an offensive team, you're immediately in a slump.
There is a bit of a weak spot, and that's middle relief. Back end of their bullpen they're happy with. But getting there has at times been scratchy for the Pirates. In their 8 losses this year, 4 have come from relievers. Oh, 2 to Mullins. Runner takes off, and Mullins is ahead of this. Fans were prepared tonight.
Yeah, a lot of gloves, a lot of people rocking the new City Connect. There's a Yinzer.
Isaac Matson warming, former Pitt Panther. Mullins stays alive. 8 seasons with the Baltimore Orioles for Cedric Mullins. Traded at the deadline last year to the Mets.
Well, Cedric's career took off when he stopped switch hitting. First got to the big leagues, he was a switch hitter, and then had a heart-to-heart with himself. He said, you know what, I think I have a better shot of being a better player if I stay on my strong side.
It was 2021 when he did that. He wound up with 30 homers. No other Oriole in franchise history had 30 homers, 30 steals, started in an All-Star game, and won a Silver Slugger all in the same season. Hoping they can recapture a bit of that in Tampa Bay. Runner goes again. Pitch low and away. Throw not nearly in time. Fraley's in scoring position.
Second stolen base of the year for Jake Fraley, and this team can run. A little bit different offense for the Rays.
And Mullins strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Montgomery.
There's that good overhand curveball for Montgomery.
Fortes, broken bat flare. Left side, Griffin is there. And the leadoff single is stranded. Time to get up and stretch here in Pittsburgh. That's a line drive up the line for a base hit. Here comes the throw. The tag is made. Oh, but Chandler is rolling.
Yeah.
Here comes Simpson flying around third. Diving stop. What a play. Pretty deep. That ball is gone. We welcome you back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg, Trisha Whitaker here with you in Pittsburgh. 3-1, the Pirates with the lead as we start the home half of the 7th. Go ahead 2-run homer by Cedric Mullins. New pitcher into the game for Tampa Bay. Yoendris Gomez make his 6th appearance of the season. This bullpen that is now allowed a run in 15 out of 19 games this season. Reynolds, O'Hearn, and Ozuna for the Pirates. Lively fastball that fans Reynolds.
Yeah, no kidding. 97 miles an hour and up. Gomez was part of a trade with the Yankees. Is that high carry fastball? And it'll be curious to see how the Rays getting back to Tropicana. One of the best things about being in an indoor ballpark for this Rays ball club is that they have the controlled environment.
Ground ball up the middle. Williamson. We've seen his range all night. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, Williamson is a future Gold Glover. There's no question. I mean, he'd probably win one of those utility Gold Gloves. His best position's third, but tonight at short, he's been phenomenal. Talk about how he attacks the baseball. He doesn't let it come to it.
El Oso looks like he's back. Marcell Ozuna. Talked about that horrid slump. And then Ben Cherington, general manager of the Pirates, was asked, should we be concerned? Do they need to sit him? What are you going to do? And this was last week. He said, we need more runway. We need more time. He's had rough starts before, and that's true. In April 2023, he started the season 5 for 59 with the Braves. He wound up with 40 homers.
That's right. Yeah, when he gets locked in, it is nobody gets hotter than Marcell Ozuna, and he doesn't swing. He's one of the lowest. He has one of the lowest swing rates in baseball. He really will just wait you out until he gets the pitch he can handle.
Now, it's also true that last year was a steep drop-off compared to his all-star season in 2024 with the Braves. Broken bat flare, center field, down for a hit. Third of the night for Ozuna.
All right, now Marcell has the magic wand. Got off to a horrible start. Now he's just caught fire. Maybe that's a little firewood for his bat, but that's okay. Goes down a hero.
So with 2 gone, that'll bring up Nick Gonzalez. Pirates, who have won 10 of 15, sitting in first place in the National League Central, tied with the Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati in the Twin Cities tonight. I think this NL Central spill is going to be wildly competitive.
Yes.
Fly ball, shallow center, long way to go. Mullins, he slides and makes the catch. Vintage center field defense from Cedric Mullins. And the inning is over. One more look. Pirates still lead 3-1. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Capital One. Since establishing the Walk-Offs program, Capital One has committed over $1 million to the Jackie Robinson Foundation. The program will return in 2026, and Capital One will be donating $1,000 for each walk-off this season. Alex Faust, Ryan Spilborghs, Trisha Whitaker. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, and Gregory Soto trying to set the table here in the 8th. He faces a pinch hitter for Tampa Bay, and Ryan Vilade.
Ryan was a former high draft pick for the Rockies. Now he's with the Rays trying to beat up lefties.
It's inside.
Tampa Bay with 9-1-2 due up. This is where the Pirates bullpen has been shining. Soto got the save Wednesday against the Nats. Two-time All-Star. The most expensive pitching signing this offseason for the Pirates.
The Pirates spent a lot of money. I mean, payroll is up to close to $130 million, which we've never seen them north of $100 million for a long time, or pretty much ever.
Last time the Pirates had a payroll outside of the bottom 4 in baseball was 2017. They're 22nd as of today. Popped up in the infield. Griffin makes the catch. One gone here in the 8th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Talking about this Pirates team, and especially with the high-profile commitment to Connor Griffin. Chandler Simpson batting here. Travis Williams, the team president, a couple of years ago said he's wanted the team to show promise around their cornerstone prospects first, as this is grounded back to the mound, and Soto knocks it down and makes the throw. And that they want to get a sense that, okay, we've got the right group before pushing in our chips and spending big money.
Yeah, and that's fair, and I agree with it. I mean, the Pirates have really focused in on homegrown talent. You see frustration from Chandler. And if you're really successful at creating big league players over and over again, that model works. But they weren't able to create offensive players to support their pitching staff, and you had to go outside the box.
I think some criticism came from, because they didn't develop hitters, with all these draft picks that are starting to hit right now. The fact is they didn't go outside the organization and try to build up their offense. And this year they have, to buttress what they have with Connor Griffin and with O'Neill Cruz. They have veterans. Lau, O'Hearn, Ozuna are on the ground at third. This will be a 1-2-3-8 for the Buccos. 3-1 the lead.
Let's take a look at pitching decisions presented by Sage. It was the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs. O'Neill Cruz matched up against Griffin Jackson's fastball changeup, the spike curveball, wild pitch, and then a backdoor sweeper, maybe a good pitch to another guy, but for O'Neill Cruz, that was clear the deck, cannonball coming. And for O'Neill, he's been phenomenal this season. Small swing adjustment, more on time, shorter to the baseball.
Spencer Horwitz to lead things off for Pittsburgh, 7, 8, and 9 here. Still it's Gomez on the mound for Tampa Bay. Tight games, nothing new for the Pirates early this season. 11 of their first 19 games decided by 2 runs or less, as Valade remains into the game to play second. Don Kelly, though, happy with how his team battles. And he traces that back not only to spring training, where we all know this team came in with a renewed confidence, but that opening series against the Mets, the disaster in center from O'Neill Cruz, and Paul Skeens being removed after 2/3 of an inning, as Horwitz has a leadoff walk. And Kelly said the culture that he's tried to instill about the fight for this team came out early in that series. Battled back the next day, pushed it to extra innings, won the final game of the series. This guy instilled an identity that is certifiably Pittsburgh.
No question, and he's also has some great mentors out there. Gene Lamont last year, serving side by side with him, and then of course Jim Leland and that friendship. In the last 15 games, this Pirates offense, I mean, they were dead last in baseball last year.
Billy Cook is a pinch runner at first base for the Pirates.
Connor still looking for his first big league home run.
No, he didn't.
Griffin was going for it.
A big cut on the fastball, and Connor will learn. I mean, it's not about how hard you swing, it's staying relaxed, getting the barrel to the baseball.
There goes the runner. Pitch inside, throw to second, not in time. Delayed late with the tag.
Well, we're seeing this with a couple teams right now where, you know, if you don't rely on the home run, how do you create havoc? How do you create offense? I mean, Brewers do this. We see it with the Royals now. Tampa's been doing it.
Second career stolen base for Cook. And only his 31st big league appearance. Griffin asking for time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of heat to catch up to here with Gomez.
Gomez gets good extension, spins the ball well. The fastball at the top of the zone is what you have to be looking for.
No!
Good take to run the count full.
And that last pitch might have been challenged. Again, the Rays are out. They lost their challenges in the 4th inning.
Payoff. Ball 4. And Griffin has reached for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, at the bottom of the lineup, Alex is spinning to the top. So this offense right now is working as a unit. So this inning started with a walk. Get your 8-hole hitter working a walk. It's Kyle Snyder trying to sprinkle some pixie dust on Gomez to help navigate this inning.
Henry Davis at the plate for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Trying to bounce back after yesterday's extra innings loss. Since the opening series of the season where they dropped the first 2 games of the year to the Mets, the Pirates have not lost back-to-back games. Henry Davis 0 for 2. Walked in the 4th. Shows bunt, corners in, and it rolls foul.
Henry does the right thing. He shows it early, sets the angle, Notice how he pulled it back, and then he tried to push it back out, and that really makes it difficult to get the bunt down where you want it. There you go.
Caminero going to make the play, and the sacrifice successful.
Excellent job. You know, these things, you know, and a guy like Henry Davis, of course he wants to hit, but these are such important team at bats, especially when you're going for these jugular runs. Notice how he got the bat head out in front. Now he really set the angle, and you just catch it.
It's interesting on the other side of the equation to hear Kevin Cash talk about the Rays' success in sacrifice bunting, because when a team is able to execute on that and they see the value in it, they buy in. Infield in again here for O'Neill Cruz. He's trying to cut down a run. Not that he'd be bunting on any sort of squeeze play.
The infield, the right side of the infield, just looking at the Rays guys, are like, oh man. About 90 feet away from a guy that hits the ball harder than virtually anybody. He hits the ball harder than some teams.
Highest year-over-year jumps in average across baseball. In fact, the highest entering today. There's a strike. Looking for a third straight 2020 season.
This is one of the most ridiculous numbers I think we've ever shown on Friday Night Baseball. 55 baseballs over 115. That's more than teams.
That's great. Cruz was going for another one there. He was going for another splash in the Allegheny.
Well, now this is where you got a team at bat from Henry Davis. You got second and third, one out. Now you have to dial down the swing. The ball has to be put in play.
Two-two pitch. That's a nice snag by Fortes.
You're not kidding with Nick Fortes. He's made a couple really athletic plays, and was a former infielder.
Cruz's two-run homer. A go-ahead shot in the sixth gave the Pirates the lead. Payoff pitch. Stays alive.
Almost a mistake by Gomez. 92-mile-an-hour sinker sped up the bat, and it was middle. You don't want to miss middle away to O'Neill Cruz. They're trying to time up and in.
And Cruz strikes out. Two gone.
Go back to the four-seam fastball. It's away off the plate, but O'Neill wants the ball away from the plate, so that just looks tantalizing to him. It's like junk food. It's not good for you out there.
So the infield will back up with two outs, and Lau at the plate. For 4 today. Continuing a strong start to the year. Couple of base hits against his former team. Two-time All-Star with the Rays.
It's probably hard for some Rays fans to see Lau in another uniform. I get it.
Three-team trade this winter between the Astros, Rays, and the Pirates.
We already saw Mason Montgomery tonight. Of course, we have Brandon Lau. Rays really like Brito and Melton.
You know, we saw Jake Mangum on that board. He played a significant part of the whole traffic cone thing. So Fanatics comes out with a misprinted shirt. We think it was misprinted. We don't think there was any sort of plant in there. And the Pirates are struggling a little bit with runners in scoring position, and Mangum kind of knew about some Pirates fans who had picked up on this shirt.
Yeah, it was supposed to say hoist the colors. Instead it said hoist the cone.
Yeah. So Mangum kind of leaned into the bit, as it were, and actually initiated the idea of bringing the traffic cone to add to the welding helmet celebration, and it's taken off since.
No.
Lau lays off.
No.
It's just so fun when something the players start doing gets accepted by the fans, and then the fans embrace it. I mean, it's great. Because now that's only for Pittsburgh. It's a Pittsburgh thing. Like, no other team in baseball is going to copy that. That's their own thing.
Now, there has been an issue, Spilly, with a shortage of traffic cones in the city. Apparently people are swiping them off the street.
Pretty sure I've accidentally run over a couple in my lifetime.
Count runs full on Lau. Payoff pitch, and Lau strokes this to deep center field. Way back there, and off the top of the wall. 2 runs come home. Is that the knockout punch? Brandon Lau with a 2-run double, and it's 5-1 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the dagger against your former team. And with 2 outs, 2 strikes, a great at bat, and they get to hoist the cone. It's a thing, Alex. Revenge ABs against your former team. He's got a pitch he can handle away from him, and this ballpark is built for Brandon Lau.
14 runs batted in his last 6 games.
That's inside.
Coming off a series against the Nationals where he put 7 on the board in 4 games. Brandon Lau continues to produce.
Well, it's just so nice to be able to pick up your teammate, because first and second, nobody out. You get the sacrifice bunt from Davis. Cruz punches out, and then you get those jugular runs, those late inning runs to make it a 4-run lead. That's a little bit more breathing room.
Pirates today have 4 out of the 5 runs coming with 2 outs.
Those are just backbreakers.
Reynolds is fanned to end the inning, but the Pirates extend the lead. Brandon Lau, a revenge game, and the Pirates are up 5-1. Let's take a look at our game summary and cap off the night, presented by Blue Moon.
Bubba Chandler tonight, fantastic. He got 6 innings in, very efficient, grinded through the 6th inning, but found a way out of it. And he's in line for a win.
Here comes Dennis Santana, who will pitch for the 3rd consecutive day. Took the loss yesterday and is looking for a bounce back. Opponents hitting .094 off Santana this season.
It's always tough taking a loss, especially when you're pitching in the 10th inning. The only questionable decision was trying to pitch to James Wood when you had first base open.
Defensive changes for the Pirates. Cook remains into the game and will play in left. Reynolds shifts to right, and O'Hearn moves to first. Pop foul by Aranda, looking for his first hit tonight. And that's a foul tip into the mitt by Aranda. He's arguing that it hit the dirt. That's not a challengeable play anyway. It's up to the umpire to take a look at the ball. One gone.
They might have had an argument. Usually catchers, if that definitely hit the ground.
It's inside.
Yandy Diaz now. You know, when the Pirates traded David Bednar last year's deadline, there was some question about who would jump into the closer's role. Santana was used for the majority of those opportunities. And this ball will get by Cruz in center field. Diaz jogs into second. O'Neill Cruz charging that ball, unable to knock it down. And Yandy Diaz with a one-out double.
Well, a lot has been made about O'Neill Cruz in center field. He's still learning. Yeah, just too slow of a reaction, but you also get to see how much length he has. He almost made this play. Now, in a tighter game, if this was a one-run game, that's a big-time no-no. If you can't catch it, you just got to let it play in front.
Ball!
That's why those extra 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th were so important. You have margin for error.
Last year, Cruz was tied for the most errors among outfielders. He worked a lot with Kevin Kiermaier this winter. Might have a challenge here. Yeah, they didn't announce it, but it's another ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And
I think his mic's just out.
Yeah. Call confirmed for a ball. Pirates wanted the strike, so they're out of challenges now. Jake Fraley at the plate.
Inside.
It's been a tough season defensively for O'Neill Cruz, and it goes back to opening day.
Yeah, this is really tough to watch, especially when, the sun was in his eyes, there's no sunglasses, and he's learning. I mean, he doesn't understand the distances yet.
He's going to get tested again. This ball kind of flowed on him. Make the catch. Go the second out, and the Rays are down to their final out.
He's a former shortstop in the middle of the season thrown to the outfield, and that's not an easy thing to do, even with his skill set.
Last hope for the Rays is Ben Williamson as they rise to their feet at PNC Park.
Inside.
2-0 to Williamson. It is early yet, but there's a belief here in Pittsburgh and an energy right now about this team and from these fans.
Inside.
A couple of years ago, this team was flirting with first place around the halfway point. Steep drop off after that. And Santana will lose Williamson. But there is a deep hunger here in Pittsburgh for a competitive baseball team. I think a lot of times you look around at some of these teams that might be down the depth chart in terms of attendance and say, well, what's going on over there? Why aren't fans showing up? Well, you need to give them something to cheer about. Believe me, you put a winner on this field.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before.
They're going to show up. Cedric Mullins. Mullins pops it up in the infield. Off first, it's O'Hearn. Game over. And this strong start for the Pirates continues. A 5-1 victory over the Tampa Bay Rays to open this series.
What a fun game. These two teams, both in first place. You get to see the dynamics of both teams. But watching this Pirates group, you're right. There's a different feel around this group. And it feels good.
O'Neill Cruz, the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 6th. Cincinnati. That game's still going as we speak in Minneapolis. So for the moment, the Pirates have a half-game lead. Every one of these teams in the Central above 500. Someone's got a plug-in light-up cone at home. Why not raise another cone? O'Neill Cruz with a blast to right.
A huge home run with 2 outs. That gave the 2-run lead that the Pirates were not going to give up. Not with this pitching staff.
Pittsburgh improves to 12-8 on the season. And since the first 2 games of the year, they have not lost back-to-back games. Pitching continues to be the core theme for this group. Shutting down this Rays offense that was off to a really good start. Down to the field, here's Trisha Whitaker.
All right, O'Neill Cruz, what a stellar start to this season for you. That 2-run home run, you got to that sweeper away and you made it look easy. How?
Qué bueno ver que pudiste ser un estelar ahí en esa jugada. Te tiró ese sweeper afuera y pudiste conectar muy bien. ¿Cómo lo hiciste?
El enfoque del turno y, ¿sabes? En ese turno fui a hacer eso a los buenos picheos y, ¿sabes? Mantenerme enfocado en el turno me llevó a hacer ese buen contacto.
Stay mentally engaged in that at bat. Make you know, that's what happened when you stay mentally in the at bat, and that was the result, or being mentally there on that at bat especially.
Those adjustments to your swing you made this off season to make it more efficient. How much is that helping you to start the season? Seems like it is.
Dice que ha hecho unos ajustes en el off-season para ayudar con tu swing. ¿Qué es lo que has hecho y cómo te ha ayudado en la temporada?
Bastante, me ha ayudado bastante, o sea, ya que ha estado enfocado en lo que va de temporada y yo creo que el trabajo que hice en Dominicana hasta ahora me ha estado ayudando mucho.
Like you said, the job that I put on during the offseason in Dominican, I think has been key to the start of the season, and that's a huge part of the success right now.
O'Neal, you guys have won 11 of your last 16 games. Tell me what's special about this group.
Han ganado 11 de los últimos 16 juegos. ¿Qué tú crees que ha sido especial en esto?
Yo digo que la confianza que tenemos entre toditos, tanto como los coaches hasta los jugadores, y yo digo que esa dinámica ha estado saliendo bien y ¿sabes? Siempre nos estamos dando apoyo en el juego.
It's the confidence that we have in each other, even the staff, our players, everybody's just that's the key for us to be in the spot we are right now.
O'Neal, congrats. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Tricia. And with thanks to the Pirates translator, Steven Morales, getting O'Neal Cruz for us after his game-winning two-run homer in the 6th. 5-1 the final. We'll be right back to Pittsburgh after this. How Russ and the gang are doing in the studio with our pregame predictions.
Okay.
This is important. Our same game parlay look tonight presented by BetMGM at that. Junior Caminero hit the over. Brandon Lau hit the over. We did not hit the over on total runs. Two good offensive teams, but the Pirates continue to mow them down with their pitching staff. Another strong outing as the Pirates get the win, and Bubba Chandler picks up the victory, his first of the season. They set off the fireworks here on a Friday night, and we're back in action next Friday night here on Apple TV. Great doubleheader coming your way with coverage beginning at 6:30 Eastern. The Phillies and the Braves, two of the top teams in the National League East, and the Cubs take on the reigning world champion Dodgers out west. For other scores, highlights, and the latest news from around Major League Baseball, check out the Sports tab in the Apple News app. Happy birthday to our comms guru, Manny Ramager.
Happy birthday, Manny.
We'll have drinks later with Manny.
For sure.
For Ryan Spielberg, Tricia Whitaker, and our entire crew, this is Alex Faust. We thank you for watching Apple TV Friday Night Baseball, and we'll see you next week in Atlanta. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.